Hey guys, this is Rachel Youngson here with our weekly PLR Power Hour. This is our chance to ask questions, get resources, and talk about ways to use our PLR. Today we're going to be talking about how to edit PLR images like a boss. This is super important for a lot of reasons. First of all, one thing I tell all my clients is one of the easiest ways to rebrand your PLR when you get it is to change the title and change the cover. Because once you do those two things, you've automatically created something that looks different and unique from everyone else who's bought that same piece of PLR. So I wanted to kind of take that one step further today, and I wanted to go over some resources that I use, and some of them we've discussed before in the group, some of them are new, but I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of how you can do these things and how you can do them quickly, and we can also go over some simple rebranding for other things as well. So let's get started with the websites that are super popular right now and that we're using. The first one that I generally use, and this is the one that I've been using for a long time, is pixabay.com. And guys, you'll notice that I'm not on camera today. I'm sorry about that, but today I'm just not feeling the camera today. So that is getting dropped in the chat right now. And I'm going to do a screen share so that you can see it. Some of you I know have already seen this site before. I know we have gone over this at different times in past power hours. But since we've been thankfully growing in our group, I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of this wonderful little site, as well as some other great sites that I learned about thanks to our wonderful group members. So this is the website itself, and then you would go ahead and create a free account here. And let's say that you are looking for images for your report, because another thing that I always recommend is that you either get unique images or you do something special with the images that you are given. So that way you can kind of keep things unique, and it's just a really simple way to make things your own. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. So apparently I sent that link to Greg privately because I don't know. I guess he's my favorite today. Okay, so let me real quick, actually, I forgot to do this earlier and I do apologize. I try to be a little bit more on the ball with these things, but it's been a bit crazy. So let me go ahead and grab a PLR pack just so that we have one on hand. I'll do whole food PLR. Past releases. Images, here we go. Okay, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. So if you're looking for images to put in your report or anything else, then you can come to a site like Pixabay and put in whatever you think is going to, excuse me, whatever you think is going to kind of go with what emotional tone you have for that specific page of your report. So in other words, if I had a how-to portion of my report, then maybe I would look for like how to drive a car. Maybe I would look for somebody successfully driving a car if it was the end of the report. If it was a part of the report that talked about problems driving your car, maybe I'd look for somebody who looks frazzled driving your car, or maybe one of those, rookie driver bumper stickers or something like that. So let's go with, since the images that we're working with today are going to fall into the paleo niche, let's go with like health and healthy eating. What I would do first, I was looking for new images for this report, is the first thing is obviously I would go to the report itself. And a lot of people have a separate folder here where you can just look at all the report images that you currently have. You can either use those as they are in the report, or you can get new images. Again, I think that it's a great idea to either get new images or throw these images in something like Canva where you can put a filter on them, maybe flip them, maybe reorganize the way that they are laid out. And it's just an easy way to make things look a little bit unique. So I'm looking at this report. So of course, in this scenario, I've just now gotten this PLR report, and in this scenario, I'm all giddy and I'm opening up my report. Life is good. Okay. We're going to change this. Okay, this image right here, this cover image, we'll change the title and we'll change the image, and we'll go over that in just a minute because that's kind of the meat of what we're going to be doing today. So for right now, let's go through. I would go through the report and I would say, okay, well, this is the introduction and we're basically hyping it up. We're talking about, hey, this is paleo. This is why this is great. This is why this challenge is going to make your life a really great, like 100 times better than it is today. This is like the most wonderful thing in the world. Okay. So what emotion is this? Of course, it's excited. So then it's just as simple as going back to Pixabay and looking up excited, happy. You can look up like something like goal or winning, things like that. One thing I will say, if you're using Pixabay, is you want to click on this Safe Search if you've got little ones around, because this site is established in another country and sometimes they pull up things that aren't great for tiny eyes. So here we go. I could use this. I could use this. Let's just use, well, let's use this one because I think this is a little bit more, I don't know, I just kind of like it. So I'm looking at this. First thing I want to do is make sure it is in fact royalty-free. Even though Pixabay is a royalty-free site, sometimes, very rarely, but I've seen it on a few things, this will read differently. So I always want to check to make sure that it reads the way that I know that it is in fact royalty-free. So it says free for commercial use, no attribution required. And that tells me, okay, I can use this. So I will click this. It will take me to a login. I'll log in. I always give a thumbs up, just for kindness sake. We're going to save this image. I'll just throw this on the desktop. All right, so then it's just as easy as clicking this and overriding this with the other one and moving on about your life. And so this is taking a second here because why? Just because fun, right? Life, huh? Okay, there we go. Just drag her down. Perfect. And then, of course, move it over just a little bit. And then I would just do this for every page. I would make sure that the formatting, as I'm going along, make sure that the formatting is still good. Because as you just saw, once you change a picture, then it can mess up some things down here. Word can get a little bit, like, go a little rogue. So you just want to make sure as you're going through that the spacing is in fact right. So essentially, that's my process, and that's what I would do for every single page. And you could also, of course, move it to a different side. You can move it to up or down. You can throw it in something like Canva if you wanted to, and throw a filter on it. We'll go over all of that in just a second. But that's like the easiest, like one of the simplest ways to make this stuff seem like your own. And remember, people are very, very visual, and the odds, I want to tell you, are astronomical. Like, I'm talking like lottery odds that somebody would look at a PLR report and then look at the second PLR report and say, hey, that looks like that might be PLR. Very, very slim. But still, you want to do your due diligence, because there are certain occasions when that does happen. It's very rare, but it does happen. Just an FYI for anyone who is newer to this, if that does happen, just refund, and maybe refund and discount another product and move on. It's okay. It's about getting things out there. It's about getting things established, getting yourself established. And Dennis Becker taught me a great quote once. He said, money loves speed. So you can always fix something. You can always change it. You can always say, oh, geez, I'm really sorry. Yes, this was from PLR, but this is my experience with this, and I'll give you a refund, and here's a refund and a freebie, something where they're like, oh, okay, I'm happy with you now, and just move on with your life. All right, so that's what you would do with the images. Up here, you've got your big image, right? So you want to change the title, change the image. First thing I would do is I'm going to show you another site, pngtree.com. I will drop that link for you guys as well. This is a link that wonderful Dave Clark from our members group shared with us. These are also royalty. Dear Lord. Thanks, Greg. I need to get my life together. Okay. These are also royalty-free sites, or images. And one thing that I really like about this is that everything is transparent. So that gives you a lot of leeway in, well, not everything, obviously, but there's a lot here that's transparent, and that gives you a lot of leeway when you want to make your own background or have something stand out, or maybe throw an image on top of an image or anything like that. So kudos to Dave Clark. Just so you guys know, Dave Clark also is one of our writers. We have a whole section in our group that deals with our service providers, people in our group who offer services, and one of his services is writing. So if you need a writer, please feel free to contact me and I will get you in touch with Dave. But let's say, so we are here, we're looking at this Paleo 30-day challenge. Well, we're gonna, first thing I know right off the top is I wanna change that, right? You don't have to, but if you're editing PLR, it's a good idea to. So Paleo 30-day challenge could be 30 days to paleo, could be paleo success in 30. Your paleo transformation, anything like that. I mean, the 30 is great. It definitely gives you a time period. It's not needed, but it is good. So let's do paleo in 30. Okay, that's going to be our title. So I'm going to drop that in the chat box so I don't forget it. And I'm not going to send this to just Greg this time. I'm going to try to be smarter at life. So with that in mind, we are going to want an image that is going to spark some kind of excitement or some kind of, oh, this is going to be great type of thing. So let's look at health and see what we get here. Let's try fitness. Let's spell fitness correctly and pretend that's uh, and I will just say right off the top that I'm a little bit more familiar with navigating Pixabay than I am with this, even though I think that um, this is a really great site and I've played with it a little bit and I think that it's got a lot of great options. And I feel really bad because, you know, for the longest time, I just showed you guys Pixabay and now I'm learning that there are other sites out there that can also help you. So, um, because woohoo, I say that too. Woohoo, I finally got it right. Let's see here. At first I was thinking like maybe the strong guy, but I don't know if that's really the image that I want to portray because paleo is more about I mean, yes, a lot of them do uh, have good physical fitness, but that's not really all that it's about. Let's see. I mean, I don't really, I don't, the big bulky arms wouldn't appeal to everybody. Let's just do, let's do this one. All right, so here he is. Looks like he's branded. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys, that he wasn't. Hmm. Oh, okay. So I guess some things here you do have to upgrade for. Let's see. Premium is a little bit pricey, but I mean, there are things here that are free and they are wonderful. Um, well, lovely. So I tell you what, for time's sake, let's go to what I know a little bit better and what I can navigate a little easier, and that's Pixabay. But I do want you guys to keep in mind this PNG tree because, um, thank you, Greg, I appreciate that. I do want you guys to keep this PNG tree in your mind because these, when you're dealing with images, it can sometimes be hard to get the images that you want. It can be hard to find things that you know are in fact royalty free. And the biggest challenge is finding things that are royalty free and decent images, right? So I've seen so many royalty free sites for images that are actually just yucky. And it's like, yeah, these are free, but they're stupid looking. So I don't want to deal with these. So keep this in mind, pngtree.com. There's one other site before we move on to move back into Pixabay that I wanted to show you, and that is Stock Unlimited. Kim from our group showed us this site, and there is a cost with this, but this is another site where you can get images that you know are yours. And once you use it once, you can use it forever. because it's your image. You bought it and it's yours. And I believe that this may be a little bit more reasonable in the pricing category. I don't, yeah, here we go. So $19 a month. It really kind of depends on how much you do with your images, how much you're um, like it's kind of a pro and con thing. You kind of want to see if you're just editing PLR reports, then maybe you don't need a subscription service for stock images. However, if you are really big into the social media presence and the making viral images and that kind of thing, then something like this might be a great option for you. And again, we can thank Kim F from our group. Kim Forth. I don't know how to say her last name. I apologize, Kim. But we can thank her for this wonderful resource. Hey, Audrey, good to see you today. Hey, Jen, hope you're feeling better. Okay, so back to Pixabay because my life. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tina. Tina said that AppSumo had a special on Stock Unlimited not too long ago, where she was able to get it for 3 years. So that's another great resource that you guys should always keep in the back of your mind is AppSumo. They have deals on like everything. I got a wonderful deal when I first started with Camtasia long ago, and like Tina said, they have this for stock images. They have a lot of great stuff. I think you can find them on Facebook, and it's just AppSumo, one word. All right, so let's go ahead and use the same image just for giggles. Audrey said she got it too. She also liked it. She thought it was a great deal. Oh, and you know, the other thing about AppSumo is I got a deal on Stencil once upon a time. And Stencil is all royalty-free images. And some people use them on like for mugs and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a great place to go. I don't know exactly how you turn an image into a mug, but I'm in a group, so I should know that, but I don't. I just know that it can be done. All right, so once I have the image, then I will go over to Canva. Now, Canva has free and paid options. I do everything I need to do with the free option. I have no need for the paid option. I actually don't know anyone who uses the paid option. One of the great things that I love most about Canva is if you want to, thanks, Greg. I'm telling you guys, I am just on point today as far as dropping things in the chat box and whatnot. But one of the great things I love about Canva is if you need to make a Facebook cover, if you need to make a YouTube cover, if you need something that's perfectly sized for social media images, looks like now they have animated social media. All that stuff is wonderful. And it's really nice because when I first came online, just so you know, I had to try to resize all this stuff myself. And so my Facebook graphics were horrible, absolutely crazy. I didn't have any royalty-free sites that I knew about, any of it. So Audrey, just out of curiosity, Audrey says that she does do the paid version of Canva, and she said it's worth it for her. So Audrey, if they have an affiliate link or if you have a link for that's tied to you, I'd be more than happy to share it with the group. If not, that's okay too. And if you wouldn't mind giving us a price point if you have one. If not, again, that's totally okay. But also when we do the replay, I will be more than happy to, if you have a link, I will list that in the replay as well, just so that everybody knows. Okay, take your time, Audrey. I appreciate you looking. We'll make a note to do a shout out to you for that because I didn't, for the pricing information. So while Audrey is getting that stuff together, just so you know, like we were saying, you can do all these great things with Canva. You can do flyers, you can do animated things, Instagram posts, and they will come out exactly as they need to be. So it's very easy. So from here, what I would do, I have a few options. Because I've used it before, I can always go look through this and grab something similar that I've done in the past and then just edit that. For instance, like this was one of our Halloween graphics that we used one year. I could just throw that in there and change the wording. Like, for instance, this. So then I would just, this is the image. I would just upload the image that I want to use now. And we will grab that off of the desktop over here. Then you click. It's very important because it takes forever otherwise. You just want to click over here to bring it over here. Then you resize. Now, one thing that I like to do is make sure that there is enough space for me to do the writing. I would play with this just a little bit. Another great thing about Canva is you can flip so that you have more space on one side. Like, see, perfect. If there wasn't another side of the bridge over here, then this would be just clear once it flipped. But so now I have the image in here. I want to first lighten this up so that obviously I can see it. We'll just make it white for now. And then we'll go back to what we decided on the, thank you, Audrey. Audrey says that it is $12.95 a month for unlimited Canva, which I think is really wonderful. And Greg says that Stock Unlimited has an offer for unlimited downloads, $159 for 3 years. If you do choose the Stock Unlimited route, sorry, please be sure to use the link that we dropped in the chat because that links us to Kim, who was kind enough to turn us onto this website. So thank you for that information, Greg and Audrey. I do appreciate it. Okay, so we decided to turn this into Paleo in 30. Could also do like 30 days to Paleo success or something like that. I mean, she's jumping, she's happy. We could do pretty much anything there. So since we're going to be making this an e-cover, I would move this somewhere over here. Because as soon as I put this in the tool that we use to turn this into an e-cover, it's going to cut off about less than a quarter inch, but it's going to cut off like a little strip right here. So if you're not careful, then it'll just wrap it right around that strip and it will automatically be a pain in the neck. So the next thing I'm going to do is I will change the font because obviously Emily's Candy is really cute for things that I put into the Facebook group, but probably not so cute for something that I'm selling. Audrey, Tina wants to know, do you know if you can add fonts to Canva? Or does anybody know actually? But Audrey, I'm thinking since you use it so frequently, you may have an idea. Okay, so we have up here, this is our new title. We're going to filter this. One of the reasons that I love the filters is because it will take an image like this where there is a lot of background noise up here, and it will help you to dim this down, so to speak, so that this will really start to stand out. Audrey says you can with Pro, Tina. Looks like Tina found it. Okay, great. So there's all these filter options, which are great. And Cali is one of my favorites. Honestly, I think it might be because California is one of my favorite places, quite honestly. But either way, so we'll brighten that up a little bit. Great. So now I will make this a little bit bigger. Move it over here. maybe change the color because I'm not really a fan of how that looks. But the thing about changing the color is that you want to be sure that it doesn't totally overshadow. Well, you want to be sure that it looks nice. So usually what I try to do is color match, and Greg turned us on to this really great color picker. It's called Colorzilla if you use Google, and you can just click and it will grab a color for you, color code, so that you can easily match colors. Another thing is to use GIMP, but that's a little more involved. But anyway, so I like to try to keep, like, I would use the color picker, maybe try to match. You'll use this because I don't know. Oh, okay. It's because I have it in here. That's why I'm not getting any luck. But anyway, usually you could just click this and grab a color and go with that. The other thing is I don't usually like a lot of background where I have my title. So for here, I might even move her up. Isn't it fun, like when you're a chatterbox like I am today, and then your computer is not as fast as you are chatty? Oh, I should explain this to you. So when you click the color box up here to change the color and you hit add, then you have this whole little bar here as well as the color code and this circle where you can change colors as well. So when you drag this to change the color, you can see right up here in this box what color it's landing on. There we go. All right, so have to be honest, this isn't my most favorite in the world, but we're gonna go with it because time, right? So then we would just download. With your little hold tight thing. I just exit out of, I don't even pay attention to this because what I need is gonna come up and it's just as simple as copy, or I'm sorry, as cut and paste or saving as. If I was saving it to a folder, I could literally just copy it and paste it into the folder. Today though, I want to save it into my desktop just because I want to make sure that we are able to grab it quickly when we throw it into the image tool. All right, so here we are. Just gonna do a save image as. One thing is Canva likes to names their stuff all these funky things. So you just want to be sure that when you download something, you give it a name that you know what it is. So we'll do Paleo in 30 main. So the main Paleo in 30 cover. And before we leave this Canva site, just so you are aware, you could do this with all of the social media images that you get. So many times when you order a PLR that has social media images, you have the original image as well as what it was turned into. Not always. And if you don't have this, if you just have this final copy, You could always use a tool like Photoshop to edit that and make that your own. I'm going to give you the link to a Photoshop course at the end of this, but if you have both of these, then it's very easy to just throw this into a site like Canva, change the wording, or pull different images and put the same wording on a different image that is maybe similar even. So like instead of apples, maybe pears. You know, just something that's not going to hurt your head too much to do, but you're going to be able to get it done quickly. Oh, Audrey, you humor me. Audrey said, you don't want 18 files called untitled? Yeah, I know, right? Super great. Okay, so we've got that. Now we are going to go over to the best site that I love so much, and a lot of you guys already know this, but a gentleman who's actually in our group, Chad Algezer, he's created this little tool, and a lot of you, like I said, are going to know what I'm talking about because you've seen this before, but I just use it so much, and I love it so much, and I believe in it so much that I talk about it a lot because it makes my life so freaking easy. So after I have my image, after I know this is what I want for my cover image, I'll go into JVZoo, and depending on what kind of an account you have, you may automatically go to your purchases, or if you're an affiliate like me, you may come to a screen like this that says looking for your purchases. Then you'd go over here, click that, then you just scroll to find eCover Authority, click View Details, and access your purchase. Now, it's important to note if you have a LastPass, then it will automatically save your information so you can easily get in, because somebody like me, I lose my stuff all the time. So, and LastPass is another Chrome add-on. It's a wonderful way to save your passwords. So I would log in, and then you get all of these options here. I ignore all of these, even though I don't have to, I just do, because all I want to do is access my software. Okay, so here's the software. You can essentially, these are all what you can do, what you can wrap that image around. So you can make it into anything from like a CD case to a computer screen, software set, and like Blu-ray, all this good stuff. When you look at PLR and you see like those big PLR bundles that people come out with, and they have like all these, the same image, but they're wrapped in all these different forms. Many times this is what's used for that. Not all the time, but many times this is the kind of thing that's used for that because it's so easy. You can even like put it on a pill bottle if you want it. It's super simple. So I want to use the image as my new report image. So I go up here, and then I would click to create this cover. Got all these fancy things over here. I don't need any of those. I just upload my own. And then you just navigate, open this up. And once again, you want to click on this. You can crop this. I'm not a great cropper, so I usually don't, but you can kind of control what's going on over here. What is over here is it's a little bit elongated, but it's still a preview of what you'll get when you click save. Let's keep it like that. Okay, so then we'll select and continue. Finalize. And then once you finalize, you always want to go transparent, because otherwise you'll have like this white box around your image. And obviously that's not a big deal if you're throwing it in Word, but it can be a big deal if you're using it like with a blue background or something like that. So over here, you see color, you go to transparent. And once you see the checkers, you know that you're good. Then you just download. and there's your new cover. And so from here, obviously, I would save as and save it onto my desktop, and then I would just replace this image with the other image, with the other main image. And the great thing about something like eCover Authority is now that I have this image created, if I was doing like, if I was selling this as a report and videos and checklists and that kind of thing, I could wrap this image into all of those other formats as well. I could do it quickly and easily, and just like that, it's my own product. Still needs some work on the inside. Doesn't have to be done though. I mean, remember, this is PLR. None of this has to be done. It's just nice if it's done. It's just different ways to make sure that you put your unique brand on it and you make this like your own PLR or your own product. But it doesn't have to be done, but it's nice to be done. So that is eCover Authority, and I will drop that in the chat box for you guys as well. And we can thank Chad Algezer. He is part of our Use PLR members group, and he is the wonderful human being who created this for us. So we will get that chatted. And before we go over our wins for the week, last thing I wanted to tell you guys is we do have I have information for a Photoshop course. Some people like Photoshop, some people don't. I personally just don't have the time to deal with Photoshop. That's just me. Oh, thank you, Jen. Just so you guys know, Jen uses a site called Mockup Shots. She's actually showed this to me before. I just never remember. Sorry, Jen. But I'll add that to our resources, Jen, as well. Thank you for that. Jenna is our resident journal lady, and she makes great journals. We actually have a training from Jen in the members group. She shows us how to edit, format, and profit from journals, which is a really great training. She runs the Planning Addicts site. So if you are into journals, that's where you want to go. All right, so here's a picture of Mockup Shots. And I do believe Jen showed me how to use this before. I don't remember, but this is basically what it is. And like Jen said, this is a free tool. There are, of course, some differences between free and, whoa. This is free, right, Jen? I guess they have, I thought this was free. Jen, is this free? Either way, it's a great tool, and Jen loves it, and she does this kind of stuff all the time. Oh, okay. So they have free and paid options, but this is great, and I am quite sure, because Jen's really awesome, she wouldn't mind if you have questions on this, if you tagged her in the group. If you do tag her in the group, please make sure that you visit her Planning Addicts site as well, just to kind of show her some love for always helping us out. Okay. Okay, and she did say that if you do choose to use this site and you use a free account, then you do get options for cheaper paid accounts. So you get discounts. So that's always nice. All right, so last thing I wanted to show you guys is Photoshop. So here's the thing with Photoshop. I don't like it. I never have. I don't know why, I just don't. Anytime something needs to be Photoshopped, I either don't do it or I pay somebody to do it. And this is actually the person that I pay. This is Samantha Angel. She runs Advancing Steps. She is, she's a wonderful person to work with, but she also makes great images. And back when I first started, and we were working on the first images for the Use PLR site and the Whole Food PLR site, she is the one who helped me with those logos and all that good stuff. She also, over on useplr.com, that nice little image that we have that has the star, like use PLR and then the star and then com, that was her. That was her genius that did that. So she is really great, and she's a wizard at Photoshop. Photoshop allows you to do a lot of things that you can't do with what I currently use. Oh, that's right. We had to take the star out. Either way, though, this is her too. So, but yeah, we used to have a really neat little star in there, and then I was told to nix it. But either way, so she has a Photoshop training, and she also has a free cheat sheet of this kind of stuff, which I think is really important for you guys. But she did recently do a free Photoshop challenge. I don't know if she is, if you get on her email list and maybe email her, if she is still giving access to that or what, but I do have the link for her Photoshop course for you. This is a great course. This is only $27. I would only recommend it if you are in fact into Photoshop, if you think that it will help you, if you think that it's going to be a valuable part of your business. If not, then hey, just use the options that we went over today. Use Jenn's free mockup site and use, the free sites that we went over, Pixabay, and, go from there. But if you do want that more in-depth, especially those of you who do images all the time, then this is your girl, and this is where you go. All right, so we're going to stop sharing, and we're going to start looking at our wins for the week. Yay! Okay, I see we got a few people. Hey, Charlene, good to see you. All right, so does anybody want to talk today? And before we get too far into the wins of the week, I want to let you guys know our very own Greg made an appearance in O Magazine. So go, Greg. I'm so stinking happy for him. I've been telling everybody. I know some of you have seen it in the group, but I just wanted to make sure everybody knows. So it's a huge achievement for Greg. Very great. I'm really excited. So check out the post in the group if you want more information on that and a link to that. But yeah, so this is how cool our group is. This makes me so excited. Audrey had a very popular Kindle book recently. She was, what was it, Audrey, like top 1,000 or something for the recipe, the Tea Party Recipes book? It was really up there. I don't know how Kindle works, but one of my writers, John, he pointed it out. He was like, hey, this is actually really good for this release. So kudos to Audrey as well. So as you guys can see, our group is really rocking. Really excited that I'm surrounded by such amazing people. We've got some bundle stuff to chat about, but before we do, does anybody have anything they want to talk about? You can just throw it in the chat box if you want me to unmute you. If you want to lurk, feel free to throw that in the chat box too. For those of you who are newer to these meetings, there are a lot of times when people choose to lurk, and that's totally okay, because they choose to either take this time to work on other parts of the business, or what I always love is when they take this time to just work on their own PLR, which is fine. No problem, Greg. Bye, Audrey. Congratulations again. I'm really happy for you. Take care. And if anybody wants a link to Audrey's book, you can find it in our Facebook group. And just do a search for tea parties or recipes. I think it's in there as well. That's tagged too. Okay, so now, since nobody seems to have anything, let's move on into our bundles. Our bundle. So here we go, guys. First of all, I have a huge question for everybody who's on the group, who's on the call today. I wanted to get your opinion before anybody else's. What do you think about our bundle title? So we have a few options here. PLR Revelation, PLR Magic Shop, Unlock Your PLR Power, or my favorite, PLR Unleashed. You guys have any choices for that? And I can go over those again if you want me to, or I can throw them in the chat box if you'd like. I also have dates for this bundle. It's going to be in January. 3 or 4. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. So Greg likes Unlock Your PLR Power or PLR Unleashed. Anybody else have anything? Or if you have another title that you can think of, then that's great. Just throw it on in here. Again, the options are PLR Revelation, PLR Magic Shop, Unlock Your PLR Power, or PLR Unleashed. Jen likes 3 or 4 too. Thank you, Jen. All right. And Jen is actually going to be helping me with this bundle, so I appreciate it, Jen. Charlene asks, what's going to go into the bundle? Yes, Charlene, so the bundle is going to be a combination of PLR and trainings on how to use PLR, and service providers in our group are able to offer services if they want. Anyone who has any kind of business growth expertise can use that. But essentially, it's going to be a bundle saying, hey, this is why PLR is great. And this is why you can take PLR and you can use it as your own, and it can really help your business grow. And here's a bunch of PLR if you need it. Here are some service providers to help you get started. Here are some other business resources, other business like products if you need them. So that's really where we're going with that. So Greg says he's leaning a little bit more towards Unlock Your PLR Power. Charlene likes PLR Unleashed, will grow your business. Slightly more specific. Okay. Okay, I'll make a note of that. I'm going to keep thinking. So for those who are newer to this call, what we're doing is we are offering in January a bundle that is specific to only people who are in our group. And the reason is because we want to help those who are in the group to grow their lists and to grow their community. But also we have people in our group like Barb Ling and Chad Algezer and Connie Reagan-Green and many others who are there to help us as a community. So for instance, I have a question on eCover Authority. What do I do? Tag Chad in our group, things like that. So they're there to be of service to us. And so this bundle is also going to be a way to give back to them and to thank them for doing what they do for our community. So, okay, so here are the deadlines you guys need to know, and then we will wrap up. Just so you know, we are going to have our deadline on the 3rd of January. We are going to launch on the 17th of January. So more information will be coming up in the group, but that is where we're at with that. And thank you guys for your feedback on the titles. We'll take the 2 most popular, and I will start working those in the group, and we'll see where we go. All right, if anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know now. Otherwise, I will see you in the group. You're welcome, Tina. It was really great talking to you today. As you guys know, VA by the Bay, if you want to secure Tina, who is our VA. She's also the admin for our group, so she's good people. Thank you, Greg. You're more than welcome. I was happy to do it. Okay, so everybody have a wonderful week. The recording should be up tomorrow, maybe Thursday, depending on how crazy things get over here. I look forward to talking to you all in the group. If you have any questions between this week and next, let me know and we'll take care of it. All right, have a wonderful day. This is Rachel Youngson from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. Reach me by email, rachel@useplr.com, or find me in the Facebook group. All right, guys, have